You read the assignment. You need to use this video from YouTube. Papa was a Rolling Stone, the Soul Train version, early vintage 1970s, and very fun to watch if you enjoy that type of humor. iMovie is the software you want to use for this project. It's very good at basic video editing. It comes with any Mac you purchase. There's several versions depending on which Mac OS X version you have. It's always been included. Here, it looks like there's something wrong with my movie library. Let me fix it. I need a new event. This is the date for today. That's very good. The next step is to make a new project. You can't really work with this unless there's a project that's already created. So you would click on new button for, and then you have the choice between movie or trailer. We'll select movie. Then you have templates that will pop up. For home stuff at home, there's cool projects that are already pre-made. We'll use no theme for this. We'll click on create, and then you can just change the name to my video editing. Click OK. And now, I don't know if you noticed, but the project window for iMovie just changed dramatically. You got a work area at the bottom. You've got an area to import your media, your videos, and then the video viewer. So I'm going to drag the video right in here, and you see it does something to it. Right now it's all selected because there's yellow outlines around it. So I'm going to drag the whole thing down to the work area like this. So that's how you start, really. Then if you take a long look at all the tools you have, you've got the transitions here. But in order to apply transition, usually you have to make a split. Let me see if it's gonna. Okay, there's a couple of dancers that finish here. I'll put my guideline right where I think it should be. If I click on cross blur there, I can't really put it because there's no space where I want it to put. So I need to do something before it moved. Let me see if it's still in the right place. Yes, it is. So you go to modify, and then you go to split clips. You cut the two clips in two halves, and then you can put your cross blur effect on it. So if everything goes well, the effect is applied. When there's a yellow line around, it's because it's being rendered, so it's not quite finished. While it's doing that, we can see that there's also titles that you can add, text. You can have this is kind of useless for this though, adding a map. There's sound effects that you can add to the video. There's quite a few actually, so I'm not sure why they're not showing up right now. We should see. Okay, it took a while for them to show up, but there's quite a few. Golf it, hockey buzzard. Might be some that are humorous to add to this video or not. Depends on what's available. And you see the yellow. Oh, it's actually back. I'm not sure if it worked actually. Let's see. Yeah, the transition worked. There was a blur effect as it transition from one couple of dancers to the other. So that's what I mean by you need to add transitions, and I expect you guys to put a transition every time there's a new couple that comes along. So here after those two and before these two arrive, there's quite a few in a row actually for the whole length of the video. You would go back to modify, split clip. You get a space where you can go back to transitions and add another transition. Could be the same transition over and over. Or you can try other ones that you might want to try. The doorway looks interesting. I'm going to drag it there, and I'm going to let it do its thing. Yellow box is rendering. That one is rendered, so that's why they look different. You can put in sound effects. If you want to do advanced stuff, you click on the clip you want to modify. You right click on it, you get more options like detach the audio. This is great if you want to change the audio soundtrack for a short period of time or for the whole clip. You could make them dance to something completely different if you find that funny. And what else could you do with this? Well, there's other things here like crop, shake. There's ways to speed it up. So you can play with the speed of some of the video or all of the video by clicking on the button. You get different tools. So you see it's sped up. If you don't want to put, you can watch it at that speed, but it's going to be silly. doesn't really work. So you can undo that last change. You can undo anything you do in iMovie. So let's say I've done all the work. You need to turn it into my assignment, post it in Modo. You would need to go to, there's no save button, by the way, because Apple unfortunately expects you to work on your home computer or your laptop, and you don't need to worry about saving it somewhere. It's saving it for you. But here in a computer lab setting, not great. The only thing you can do is share to file for this project. If you were at home, you could use all these other options, but we're gonna share to file when you're done, of course. And I don't need to add this to theater. The settings are there. Resolution is way too high. We're gonna leave it to the bottom. Quality could be medium, because if you leave this on all the high settings, it's going to be a huge file, and that's not going to work well to put it into my Edmodo assignment. And is it going to ask us where when I click on next? Let's see. Yeah, so put it on your desktop, of course, so you can find it. And save it. So it's going to export the few changes you made into a new video that will pop up on the desktop when it's done rendering. There's gotta be a, yeah, this is where it's showing you, it's exporting it, so it might take a while depending on how much editing and how much work you've put into it. It says 3 minutes until it's done here. Okay, cool. So when it's done in Edmodo, you would upload it into my assignment. Cool. So you know how to do that already. You've uploaded several assignments already. That's it, that's all.